Welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. You know, times these days are getting pretty tough out there. A lot of crazy stuff going on in this world. Yeah, you can say that I'm a prepper. I always have been pretty much, I've always believed in having enough to sustain yourself. There's nothing that I preach really, but I think every man or woman should always have something in their coffers to make sure that they're being taken care of and that they can survive. And remember, it's not what you have that's really going to get you by, because what you have is only going to last for so long, and then it's not going to be there no more. The biggest thing is that you have to worry about, and the most important and valuable thing is, of course, knowledge. So my advice to people that are looking to protect themselves in these times is to have knowledge on multiple different things. How to grow food, how to start a fire, how to build a rocket stove. What's the purposes of all of it? How do you put it all together? How to protect yourself? Do you know how to shoot a firearm? Do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to fish? Learn the skills. Learn to sew. Learn to knit. There's so many different things out there that could make you valuable, that will sustain you. That these are things that you really should look into. But there's also a few things that could really make your life a little bit easier and simpler. It's like, what's the stumblers that you have when stuff like this happens? Let's say it does hit the fan. What is going to need to survive? Well, number one, your food storages, of course. I think everyone should have enough in their home to at least sustain themselves for at least 3 months. So you can have the meals enough to actually keep yourself alive for 3 months inside your home. Should all have water. They say, what is it, a gallon per day per person? In my opinion, I think it's a little overkill. I guess it's all right if you're looking at cooking and everything else all together. But it's still just survival. What's going to survive you? Number one, a little bit of hygiene to keep yourself healthy. And mostly your consumption of water, because your body needs water every day. So you need to have at least enough in there to do that. And most people can get by with probably 3 bottles of water a day. It should be more than enough to keep you hydrated. And if you learn how to brush your teeth, how to clean yourself, you can be surprised what you could do with one 16-ounce bottle of water. Believe me, it goes a long ways. So you just have to know how to do that and how to prepare for that. So these are things, and there's videos all over the internet to show you how to do stuff like this. They got that guy that builds the hour shower, and the simple few parts to simple put together in a little drain, a little wash basin bucket, and you can take a shower for an hour and only use less than a half a gallon of water. So it's the same as taking a bath and bathing in your water. People get clean. They've done it for many, many years, so it's not as gross as you would think it would be. But it gets you clean. It cleans your body. It cleans your skin. It sanitizes you to where you're not going to get infections and get sick. So there's a lot of things that you can do to protect that. And then by boiling that water is going to also sanitize the water itself. So there's a lot of things that you can look at and protect yourself. You want some things that you could look to maybe put in the back coffers. Even if you don't use them, it's always good to have them. Something you can put back in the back of your closet, in the trunk of your car, like a 100-watt solar panel. How hard is that? They got them in the suitcases, or you could just get just a standard solar panel. You don't have to have anything really fancy. That's enough to sustain one light bulb, especially today when you have these, the lithium bulbs. I mean, the not lithium, but um, the new technology bulbs. Sorry, my mind's just not thinking right today. But anyway, some of those bulbs out there, technology runs on like 2 watts, and you can easily light a room up with it. So, and most of those are all going to that. You can't even hardly buy incandescent bulbs anymore. But for a solar panel, you can use a battery. You don't have to have a big fancy battery. You have to have enough. A regular car battery will do it. You'll have enough to get through the night. And you charge it every single day. And but these are tough times, so you would take your panel out and you would make it sort of mobile. And you would set it out in the yard and let it, do what it can and face it to the sun and keep it faced there and try your best to absorb as much energy as you can. Yeah, you got, your charge controllers and all the other components that goes along with them and your inverters and everything else. There's a lot of things, and you can get pretty elaborate with a lot of things. But I'm talking just strictly survival. You need light. Not a lot of light, but you need at least one light, maybe like the size of one candle, and you can survive inside of a dark house, at night, and feel fairly safe. So get you one light, put it in one of those drop cords if you have to where you can hang it up or you can carry it around with you or whatever. Get chargeable stuff, 12-volt chargeable stuff. It's another good thing you can use on your solar panels. Biggest thing that a lot of people will really suffer over is refrigeration. I've got a little cooler. It's an ice cooler and a refrigerator cooler from Alpacool, I believe is the name of the one that I have. It's a 48. It's 48 quart. That's actually a pretty good size refrigerator, believe it or not. And I think it's like $290 or something like that. So for $290 plus, say $150 for a solar panel and, the stuff you need for that, maybe $200, a kit, for a cheap little kit. Or even find something used, is fine. I mean, those things last forever, so it's okay to buy them used. And you can get it for probably half that cost. But buy this stuff and put it together and learn how to hook it up and learn how to use it. Like my little cooler gets freezing. I mean, I keep my freezer side of that thing down to minus 8 degrees. And the refrigerator side I keep at 30, between 34 and 32. That's where it's bouncing. And it works fine. I mean, it's quiet. It draws hardly any power at all. I mean, and it keeps the food properly. I don't care if it's in a hot car or if it's underneath the sink in your bedroom or sitting in the kitchen in your house. It does a great job. And that one solar panel and that one battery will literally run that thing 24 hours a day. I know because I've done it. So I know it works. So like I said, for just a few $100s, I mean, every one of you got you a check, from the government, $1,200. Hopefully you'll get another one. If you still haven't spent that money, consider putting your refrigeration and your solar panel together. Great way to spend that. It really is. It's a great way to do it. Because now you're survival and you're also mobile. Because you can always take the stuff and throw it in any car and drive away. and still be able to set it up out in the middle of the woods somewhere, if you have to, or set it up at your next place, or even in a cave. I don't care where, but at least you can do it. And you can store all this. I mean, in my freezer, I've got the fullest that I've had it. I had 2 4-pound or 3-pound roast on an average size of about 3 pounds. 2 chuck roast, 1 tenderloin, pork tenderloin, and about 12 ribeye steaks, which were about on an average of between 1/2 and 3/4 of a pound each. And these were all that I kept in nothing but Ziploc bags, because I used them all weekly. I don't keep stuff in there and leave it sit there forever. So, I buy what I need, I keep it in there. I can store more in that little cooler than I can in my little refrigerator at home. So, I mean, that's why I got it, and that's why I'm using it as a dual. It's like a backup little freezer, and it works great. It's cheap to operate. It's nothing. And it's quiet. It's not creating a bunch of heat. It does a great job. Now you get into, the staying comforts of things, like running a CPAP machine or running an air conditioner and things like that. It takes more to do that. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I do it in my van, in my big van. And believe me, you can do it, and you can run it off of batteries. Solar power, not so much. You have to have a lot. You can do it, but you have to have a lot to keep it charged up to do it properly. I mean, and to run it 24 hours a day would be a ridiculous amount. You probably have to have 1,500 watts of solar power, to actually keep a little small window unit running, properly anyway. Especially 24 hours a day. But can you do it? Sure you can. Yes, you can. And there's many, many, many people out there on the net making videos on all that. That's just amazing. And some of them even get into really fine details and makes you really understand a lot of it. And some of them are so vague, but they give you what you need and tell you exactly how it works and show you it works. And that's okay too, as long as you make sure that they're not burning your house down or something, But it really don't take an awful lot, to learn this stuff and to get that knowledge under you and to get yourself, understood anyway. But learn how to sprout, learn how to do a bag garden, how to bags of dirt. You can go to Home Depot and buy, 10 bags of potting soil. Plant some vegetables right in the potting soil. Leave it in a bag. Just poke a hole in the bag and stick the seed in there. Let it grow. Let it pop up. I cut about an inch circle around there and drop the seed right in the center of it. Believe me, it grows. All the roots stay inside the bag. The water stays inside the bag. Everything is inside the bag. And it grows anything you want. I've grown a full size tomato plant. I bet that plant was 7 foot tall. I mean, it was huge. And it all grew out of one little, one of those bags of potting soil. I think it was the Miracle Grow potting soil I used. But it's something that you can even carry mobile if you had to. You can always throw a few bags of soil in the back of your trunk too. If you're going somewhere, even if it's out in the middle of the woods, you got something to start with, Learn how to do hidden gardens that you can garden and plant that kind of stuff right out in the middle of the woods. Buy your seeds. Get enough seeds to where you can plant 2 10-acre lots of gardening. And that's enough to get you by. And by the time you start growing 2 or 3 different crops, and you learn how to harvest the seeds and how to dry the seeds and how to preserve them, then you can just keep rotating those seeds as long as you use heirloom seeds and heirloom plants. But so But these are things that you can get easily, you know. This is something that you can get and you can hold on to and replenish itself. Guys, there's so much out there that you can do. Don't be scared. Don't let fear drive you away. Remember, as long as you're knowledgeable and you have the knowledge, you'll defeat anything out there. Just stay away from the the crazy idiots out there, you know. There's too much of that going on in this world right now. And always question, you know, always keep an eye on your back, you know. If you got neighbors or if you got, you know, your family and friends or close friends, protect each other, you know, look out for each other in the back. Because believe me, the more that actually can stick together and work as a community, they're the ones that's going to have the most success in surviving. You try to survive out and all by yourself in the woods and do it, you know, all on your own to live in the wilderness. Believe me, it takes some very special skills and very special knowledge to be able to do so. The worst thing that you'll face is loneliness. And loneliness, believe me, will flat out kill you. It will drive you insane. So don't even consider that. I mean, make sure you have at least 2 or 3 people with you. Someone that you truly love. Someone that you can spend time with and enjoy company with. Because, you can survive maybe for a month or so, believe me. But there's a lot of Steven stuff on TV that you can watch, you know. Like that one program, Alone. Watch it. Understand what them people have to go through. Naked and Afraid is another one. Watch it. You'd be surprised what they have to go through. And these are survivalists and they're struggling that hard. So you can imagine what someone that has no idea or no clue of what's going on. Look at the Alaskan guys. Now that's true wilderness living. See what they have to come up with and deal with every single day just to survive a day. They spend 8, 12-hour solid hard work days just to survive. Just to live and eat. I mean, harvest their warmth. You know, their wood for the winter and all this stuff. It's crazy the stuff that you'll have to go through. That's why I say, if you have a little bit of a community where each other can help each other, a lot of things can happen. I mean, you can heat a small house up with one fire. That'll house 12 people. Just as easy as you can 2 people. So, you know, and still use the same amount. But then now there's 12 people that can cut firewood to keep that fire going. You understand what I'm saying? And plus, out of all the 12 people, each one of them has special skills that they can bring to the table as well. So, and then the ones that don't have the skills and the knowledge, they have the back to be able to do the work. So the ones with the knowledge can tell them how to do it, and then they can just do it. And they can teach them how to do that thing, whatever they need done, and still contribute to the community. Plan this stuff out, think about it, put something together. You may never have to implement it, and God, I hope and pray that you never do. But you know what? Times are getting tough, man. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And I tell you, if it keeps going the way it is, we're not going to have a country no more. We're going to just basically give it away. So at that point, all that's going to be just given away. We're going to literally give our country away. Because the quiet is too timid and too quiet to stand up, and they just accept whatever comes down the pike. They won't stand up for themselves. Are you a rebel or are you not? Do I believe in Antifa and all the Black Lives Matter? No, not so much. I mean, they could be just a bunch of hoodlums. But you also got to wonder, that takes courage to be able to stand up for what you believe in and to face that strong of an enemy. Knowing good and well they can squash you like a bug in a second. But it just takes undying nerve to be able to do that. Are you willing to do that for your cause? So, even though I don't agree with what they've done, I still admire the courage of what they have to go through to endure what they have to do. And to take away or defund the police departments and things like that. Yeah, there's a couple bad cops. Trust me, I know it. I've even felt it. My family has been a victim of this kind of abuse, so I understand firsthand what that's at. I mean, my God, they harassed my son when he was a young boy. Every single night, every night, they would harass him on his way home from work. They would pull him over, search his car, search him, and give him a hell of a time every single night. Finally, I even sat there on the side of the road right about where they would pull him over, and I videotaped it in my car and watched them do the same thing night after night after night. Finally, I got so pissed off, I went into the police station and I talked to the main dude. And I told him, if he don't stop this bullshit, I will stop it myself. And it took about 3 times of that. Finally, I went to the council and made a complaint with the council and I talked to just about everybody down there. And I made it through some, I don't know who it was, but I made it through to somebody. And boy, I mean, it stopped instantly and they quit. It got so bad, it scared my son so bad, he now became a concealed carry. He's like, Dad, I got to protect myself because they're going to take me one night and nothing I can do about it. So we thought about it, and I said, well, I'd rather not you not be armed because then they'll have a reason to shoot your ass. But we went on and did it and trained him and taught him the right and taught him all the laws and the rules and he was a pretty calm, mellow kid anyway. So I'm like, I understand it, I get it. But ever since then, they haven't really bothered him at all. I mean, he's grown up and he's become a decent boy, and he never was a trouble in anywhere. He was a good student. He was he didn't even go out and so, but they still would harass him. So I seen what happens there. But would I defund them and would I want them to go away? No, not at all. Because I've also seen how they've protected and they've been there for people when they truly needed it. I've seen how without them it could have been a whole lot worse. Trust me. So I understand their job. I understand what they have to go through and what they have to deal with. And I can even understand the ones that get angry and sort of lose it at times because some of these criminals are a pain in the ass, believe me. And when you put someone like that with that attitude, along with being doped up and drunk, trust me, it's tough to even deal with them. So consider them as well. Pray for them because they're the ones that have the tough job. I mean, if people, especially you get the mindset of someone that will stand up for this country. Face it, even if they're a soldier going to war, or if they're just a grandmother that's in the middle of the street with her baseball bat saying, "You ain't going down this street no more. I'm tired of you filthy punks." You understand what I'm saying? Be that person. That's what the world needs. They need someone to stand up for others because that's showing true love to them. And courage is that. Well, anyway, guys, this has been something that's been on my heart a lot lately anyway. I figured I would just make a video of it and sort of show you what's in my mind and what's going on. Hopefully I'll try to make some more videos and keep this sort of things going. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button for me. My subscriptions has been going down. My views has been going down. There's nothing I can do to stop that or save that. Maybe my channel's just dried up and washed up. I don't know. But I know it's sort of given me a lot of discouragement, and I've sort of given up because of that. But I've had a lot of health issues too. I mean, just like yesterday, I fell in the tub. Busted up my knees. I think I cracked a rib. I'll survive. I'll survive. It's just the way it is. The doctor's appointments and the doctor's bills and everything are just literally eating me alive. The government's basically forced my business to have to shut down because of all this nonsense. So I have zero income now. I can't even do what I need to do to even help somebody else. So you talk about tying your hands together. Well, that's what it's pretty much done to me. So I'm right there with you guys. I'm in the same boat. I don't know if there's going to be a life preserver thrown for us or not. I don't have no clue. I hope God would have at least mercy over me to at least protect me through all of this, because in taking account of what I've done in His name for others along the way. But who knows? I always figured one day, with helping the homeless as much as I have, I almost figured it would be that I would end up being homeless myself. So who knows? Maybe that's the way it's going to be. I don't know. But if that's the case, I guess I'll accept it, and I'll still love the Lord with all my heart, all my soul, all my mind. So guys, just stay cool out there. Send me prayers and blessings if you can, because I'm always on your side, and I'll do whatever I can to love you just as well. Thank you. Have a great day.